The debate over medical marijuana has been thriving for years. The first state to legalize marijuana in any fashion was Colorado, followed by Washington.
While many states aren't ready to outright legalize it for recreational use, more and more are recognizing it for its medicinal use. The first state here on Delmarva to allow medical marijuana was Delaware. It can be prescribed to people who have conditions such as cancer, HIV/AIDS, or ALS, among others. Those who have debilitating pain that hasn't responded to other treatments for more than 3 months. Also for seizures and muscle spasms. And those with post-traumatic stress disorder can be prescribed medical marijuana if it causes severe physical suffering.
In Maryland, patients who have conditions like severe or chronic pain, severe nausea, seizures, or severe or persistent muscle spasms, as well as a few other conditions, can be prescribed marijuana. The thing is, while they can get the prescription in Maryland, there are no dispensaries open.
In Virginia, some patients can get medical marijuana, but only if they have cancer, glaucoma, or intractable or uncontrollable epilepsy. And the only dispensary in Virginia is in Prince William County.
Now, if you are prescribed medical marijuana, you can't just go to any pharmacy and pick it up.
You have to go to a medical marijuana dispensary. Currently, there is one operating in Delaware, and as we mentioned, none in Maryland. Those dispensaries need to get their marijuana from licensed growers. And right now in Maryland, a special commission is deciding who to give those licenses to. Joining us now to talk more about that is WBOC's Chris Weimer. Chris, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so first of all, in Maryland, there are 3 types of licenses.
3 types that are going to be handed out. You've got growers licenses, processor licenses, and as you'd mentioned, the dispensary licenses.
And now I can only imagine that entrepreneurs are seeing this as a huge opportunity.
Well, you look at the medical side, and that's what we're working with now in Maryland, and then you see other states have approved the recreational side. You know, I think a lot of people are trying to get in on the ground floor with the medicinal marijuana, but you ask people in the industry, and they really believe that just the medical side, the industry can stand on itself and be pretty successful.
Now, when all is said and done, this is going to be a pretty comprehensive program in Maryland.
Boy, absolutely. You know, I looked through the application process. You've got 60-some pages, hundreds upon hundreds of questions, and I spoke to one person who's going through the process, and they said, you know, honestly, I don't think people are going to be able to finish the application. It's just so thorough, which in and of itself, I think sort of weeds the people out that aren't so serious.
It's a huge undertaking. I mean, we're standing up an entire industry here in Maryland.
So again, this is a very, I guess, in-depth application,
Right.
60 pages, very thorough. How many people have applied?
Well, and first of all, that's just for the growers application. You've got the other 2 license applications were just as thorough. You've got 102 applicants for that grower's license, and only 15 are going to get the license. Up to 15, may not even be 15, so obviously very competitive too.
All right, Chris, so let's talk a timeline. When can we
Sure.
start seeing or find out when people get licensed, and when are we going to start seeing these dispensaries?
November 6th, just a few days ago, all the applications were in. You can't apply anymore. Their timeline is a little bit vague, but I can tell you one thing, it's going to be a lot sooner than you might think that these dispensaries, these growers' operations are running. You have to watch a story tonight to find out when.
Oh,
Geography-wise, do we know where they're going to be?
They could be just about anywhere. I asked that question specifically thinking about the Eastern Shore, of course, and she said geography is absolutely being taken into account. No guarantees, though.
all right.
Chris,
Looking
thank
forward
you
to
so
seeing
much.
that story tonight. License to Grow on WBOC News at 11. On to a little less controversial green, Christmas trees. Walk inside this Christmas wonderland and you'll find 22 fully decorated trees. Find out how you can pick and choose what you want for your Christmas decor. We're going to take you there next.
But first, we have to get through Thanksgiving, and making the meal doesn't have to be stressful. We'll explain later. Delmarva Life will be right back.